Hi and welcome to Whiskey Shared. You're watching day 24 of my mystery whiskey advent calendar. I'm Toby and you're watching Whiskey Shared. It's day 24, the final day of my mystery whiskey advent or dramvent calendar. I'm hoping for special things. I'm hoping this might be a special dram, but I don't think I gave my wife that brief when I said pour things randomly, so this could be anything. It's one of a potential 102 different whiskies. It could be one of 70 whiskies I own, not all of which I've tried, or it could be one of 32 whiskies given to me by people in the whiskey community. So this really is an unknown whiskey. I've no idea what's in here, other than the fact I've already tried 23 whiskies up to this point, so I know which whiskies it isn't. Should we find out what I'm drinking tonight? On to the whiskey. If you'd like to play along with me and find out what's in my glass when I do, just keep watching and you'll find out at the end. Otherwise, take a look in the description and you can find out now. I'll nose this, I'll taste it, I'll tell you if I like it, and I'll see if I can work out what it is. Let's have a look at the colour. That's incredibly light. That's almost like a white wine. That could be a giveaway, but it could also cause problems because if it's not one of mine, then yeah, I haven't got much to go on. I don't own many whiskies that are as pale as this, but there are some that are in coloured bottles that I'm probably not 100% certain of how light they are. So let's try it on the nose. Okay, I'm getting alcohol vapour and peat smoke. Almost like a hint of vinegar. Yeah, that's quite punchy on the nose. I'd say the peat is a little earthy, but there's that astringency on the nose. It's really quite sharp. It smells a bit like Frazzles. Is that sort of artificial bacon? And there is also a hint of burnt rubber in there. Yeah, it's really punchy on the nose. This might be a high ABV. Let's try it on the palate. Yeah, it's definitely high ABV. It's not too vapoury. You know, that the vapour's not causing problems, but it really is attacking the tongue. It's like really tingly, almost like you've had one of those sour sweets in your mouth for too long and it's sort of starting to burn your tongue. It's that sort of feeling. Or maybe if you've eaten too many salt and vinegar crisps, that sort of, obviously it doesn't taste like that, but it's that sort of way it's attacking your tongue. The peat smoke's quite pleasant. It's a little bit like sort of a dying bonfire. It's yeah, it's quite ashy. It's starting to die down on the tongue now, so I taste a bit more. Bit of dry wood, almost like you know, an old charred barrel. A little bit of sweetness, not much, but I'll go for another taste and let's see what else I get. Yeah, I'd definitely say that's higher than 46%. I'd say that's nearer 50 or even higher than that. Potentially it could be a cask strength. That's why I don't think it's one of mine, but I have got a number of samples from people which are Douglas Laing bottlings. So it could be one of those. I think there's a rock oyster in there. I think there's a big peat in there. I think. Not entirely sure from memory all the different samples, but I'd say it probably fits into that sort of character of sort of Douglas Laing peaty whiskey. It's definitely high strength, and I don't think I've had it before, and I don't think this is one from my collection. But I'll have another sip and see what else I can pick up for you. Yeah, it's really nice. On the mouth, the smoke, the heat, it's really pleasant. It's a little bit vanilla sweetness, but as soon as you swallow it and it evaporates, there's a really heavy prickle on the tongue. Not too unpleasant. I could easily see some people quite happily sipping this, as long as you keep a decent gap between each sips to let that prickle die down. It's unlike some higher strength whiskies, which the more you sip it, the more it attacks your taste buds. This isn't doing any more. It's probably even doing slightly less than the first sip. So you almost like set your palate up, and then, if you know what I mean, it's then okay for you to continue because it's not going to get higher, whereas some continue to build on the palate. Yes, a little bit of sweetness with this. There's a little bit of dryness on the finish. It's not too clinging, it's not oily. It does make me salivate a little, but I think that's the high ABV. And that smoke is quite pleasant. It's quite ashy. Yeah, it's a little bit of bonfires. Yeah, it's nice. So if this isn't one of mine, which I think it isn't, then it's quite good to sort of finish on a dram that I've not had before. Something that's a little higher strength, but you never know. Could be totally wrong. I have been before. So should we find out what it is? So I was definitely in the right ballpark. I even mentioned it. It's not one of mine. It's the Douglas Laing Rock Oyster cask strength at 56.1%. For 56.1%, that's really quite pleasant. I would say I'd expect a little bit more on the taste buds. I'd expect it to need water, but it's actually just about palatable at that strength. It's a sample given to me by Jim, the Whisky Novice. You should check out his channel if you're not familiar with him. But it's, yeah, I'd say that's a decent enough and special whiskey to finish this series on. If for any reason you've missed any, or you know, maybe this is the first of mine that you've seen in the series, then I'll put a link up there so you can find the playlist and watch some more from this series. But I've really enjoyed it. It's given me something different to do. It's given me a new challenge, and it's opened up my eyes to the fact that even though blind tasting is difficult, it's really difficult. What you think you know, you don't always know, and what you don't know, you sometimes know. So I've had fun, I've tried some new whiskies, and I've tried some of my whiskies in a completely different light. So hope you've enjoyed watching it, and maybe I'll try and replace this with something else next year, something different, a different challenge. So keep watching, and here's to a great Christmas for 2019. Stauncher. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.